All right, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV. I touched on this morning in a live stream. I couldn't keep up, but I listened to the Sweet Science channel, his video earlier, and I decided to go ahead and do it again and just dedicate a video to if Lomachenko is ducking Manny Pacquiao. Now, if you missed it, I just dropped a prediction video before this video. If all goes as planned. Goodfellas Sports TV. Y'all know what the business is. One time for the one time we grinding. Appreciate everybody out there supporting the channel. You want to support even further, we can make a donation. That link's in the description as well. But let's keep it moving. Okay, you can do me one better by just sharing the videos and tweeting them out retweeting them out on Twitter. Appreciate it. Every video we put out, tweets I tweet out. So appreciate the YouTube for that dope feature. But you know, I watched the interview yesterday. And I didn't think much of it, you know what I'm saying? But when you hear somebody else's perspective, that's why I like to listen to other people's channels. And the best channels to listen to are the channels that are hungry, that haven't been baptized with, you know, with just a whole bunch of malarkey going around in the boxing community. Channels get big and they switch their style. They start catering towards whatever. They start doing videos for money, whatever the situation may be. My goal has never changed. I reached my first major milestone. My first major milestone was 1,000. My second major milestone was 10,000. So I reached that, man. I beat my goal by over a month. So my goal was to get to 10,000 subs by the end of 2018. I did it. Appreciate everybody that helped me do it, man. We had some highs and lows. I roll on the way there, but we did it. But just listening to what he said once again, because I actually listened to the interview Radio Raheem did. You know, it's a travesty, man, that boxing scene doesn't credit these interviews. Okay, look here, man. Anybody on boxing scene, I talked to Keith Idek on boxing on Twitter. All you dudes out there on boxing scene, all right, if you're going to borrow an interview, how about at least link the interview and credit the interviewer at the end of your boxing article? Okay. They didn't stole interviews from the Cornerman Radio. They do it from everybody, okay? Blue Blood, I mean, Fred, they probably stole some interviews from him. Floyd Hype as well. But, all right, let's get into it. 2 minutes 30 in. I went on too long. But, hey, it's a raw video. I believe Lomachenko didn't want no parts of Manny Pacquiao. The risk, I think the risk outweighed the reward in this one. Now, Manny Pacquiao wanted to fight Lomachenko. Manny Pacquiao even went on record saying he thought Lomachenko was going to be the next boxing star. All right. He wanted to go down to 135, possibly a catchweight, possibly 140 to fight Vasiliy Lomachenko. But what's funny, this morning we was live and people was mentioning, oh, Lomachenko too small for 140 and 147. You had to do the Shannon Sharp. Hold on. Skip. Now, Oscar De La Hoya moved up 35, 40, 47, 54, 160. Floyd moved up 130, 135, 140, 147, 154. I mean, plenty of guys have moved up. Mikey Garcia, 126, 130, 135, 140. Now you going to 140. Scavin. Not seven, Scavin. So plenty of guys moved up several times before. So when it gets to some fighter that's on everybody's beloved list or on a media darling, like Lomachenko, because of Bob Aaron's paying the media to be there, and also he get the dope time slot to come on after the Heisman Trophy showcase. All right, people gonna run with that narrative. I don't. You know, at the end of the day, Pacquiao moved up from whatever paperweight, strawweight, all the way up to 150 pounds. He did it. So I'm not buying that shit. Lomachenko too small. All right, certain requirements. Certain requirements only are required to the fighters that the fans want to see lose. Oh, Tank should do this, and Russell should do this, and this fighter should do that. You know, it's only all that shit is only put on fighters that people don't like. They want to see lose. Oh, Floyd should move up to 160, fight Triple G. You know, Andre Ward should move up to heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm not buying that excuse that he's too small. You can shove that where the sun don't shine. Okay, plain and simple. He said he didn't want to be a legend by making his name off a legend. Plenty of times in history, we've seen that happen. We've seen De La Hoya make a name off of beating Chavez Sr. We've seen Floyd Mayweather make a name off De La Hoya. And De La Hoya wasn't even that old. And he fought De La Hoya, okay, at De La Hoya's comfortable weight of 154. Manny Pacquiao made his name off a legend with Oscar De La Hoya and Ricky Hatton, two legends that got beat previously by Floyd Mayweather And he made Oscar De La Hoya come down to a catchweight. 9 pounds below 154-pound limit, or was it 11 pounds below the 154-pound limit, 145 pounds, I think, okay? Whatever it was, all right? But, or 9 pounds, excuse me. But, you know, that they try to make this case and try to push this narrative, oh, he too small. Nah. Oh, I don't want to make my name off of it. Plenty of fighters have made their name off of fighting age, older legends. I mean, Joe Kazaki was a dime over there in the UK by beating up on old Roy Jones, okay? Kovalev really cemented himself as a top light heavyweight title holder. You can call him lineal champion in some people's cases. Ray Adonis was. Stevenson get better. Praying for Adonis Stevenson still. But Kovalev cemented himself by actually retiring, beating up Bernard Hopkins. Then obviously Joe Smith Jr. He did the rest of the physical work and knocking Hopkins out. But yeah, plenty of fighters have made their name on Asian legends getting out the game. Okay, so that's not a valid excuse. His excuses are rejected. Plain and simple, he ducked Manny Pacquiao. He seen Manny Pacquiao as a threat. He seen Manny Pacquiao could whip his ass. He knew Manny Pacquiao was already a natural smaller fighter that really could probably make 140 and really can make 135 because he's never really been forced to make a weight in his whole career. You know, especially since ascending above like 130 or 130 or around 135, he's actually had to just eat excessively. So this will be the first time that he will actually have to strain himself, to make the weight. So at the end of the day, excuse no good, Lomachenko officially did duck Manny Pacquiao. He said it in his own words, a bunch of horse shit, a bunch of malarkey. He didn't want the smoke. He wasn't smoking for none. He wouldn't want none of the smoke. For whatever reason, he wanted to fight Mikey Garcia, but Pacquiao brings a different dynamic. You could say fighter A is better than fighter B, but styles make fights. In boxing, you can't use the triangle theory. In his opinion, Mikey Garcia is an unathletic Mexican fighter that's very, very vanilla, very bland. I mean, he don't come with no special effects. He don't have the speed of Pacquiao, and probably Lomachenko don't think he would have the power that Pacquiao had, and he doesn't have the unorthodox foot movement that can rival the angles of Lomachenko. But Mikey is very, very technical, very fundamental. And when you're very fundamental and technical, and you're very smart, you can be like Floyd Mayweather and get the drop on Pacquiao, knowing that Pacquiao actually had to set up and he couldn't punch in the move. Every time he punched, he had to set his feet to throw a punch, and Floyd Mayweather dissected that and picked that up. Mikey Garcia is of the same ilk. Him and his father, Big G, and Robert Garcia, very smart at fundamentally dissecting fighters and coming up with the perfect game plan. And they would have a perfect game plan for Lomachenko and to dissect him. But Lomachenko just looked at him as an unathletic Mexican fighter that just can punch. He looks at Pacquiao as a phenomenal athlete that can rival his angles and give him problems. So really, he did duck the smoke. So I don't want to hear Loma ain't duck no smoke, all right? All these Nomaschenkos, yes, Nomaschenko. No Lomachenko don't want Pacquiao. That's what it meant. Yo, no Nomaschenko. No Lomachenko don't want Pacquiao. That's what that means. So all this shit that people duck Lomachenko is funny. People tell you that Gervonta Tank Davis ducked Lomachenko, right? That they won't bring up, how Lomachenko dunked Pacquiao, which would be a very, very good paycheck, good notoriety. He don't have any other, like Sweet Science said, he don't have any other opponents to fight at 135, especially if Manny Pacquiao don't come up. But people will tell you till you blue in the face that Gervonta Tank Davis is ducking Lomachenko, but Lomachenko straight ducked Manny Pacquiao. And people say, well, Manny Pacquiao wasn't in his weight class. Don't matter. Pacquiao offered to come down and handicap himself to fight Lomachenko. So at the end of the day, Lomachenko is another fighter that been debunked, that don't want all the smoke, you dig? And that's it. That is what it is. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear that shit. Don't bring that Gervonta Tank Davis shit up. And you see it's funny when certain brothers, I talk about Tank Davis. Oh, that fat pregnant woman and this and that. They talk about him. He ducking Lomachenko, right? Lomachenko ducking Manny Pacquiao. So how many of them people gonna send them shots at it? But remember, they supposed to be, a lot of these channels supposed to be pro-black fighters, right? No, they pro the fighters that they do like, because they want to apply that same pressure to Lomachenko when it comes to Pacquiao. So we debunking the haters as well too. And remember, when I go live, I just don't read the super chats. You don't have to pay for me to read your comments, but I definitely appreciate the super chats and the donations. But you guys don't have to do that. You guys are very important to me. I try to read as many comments and give a Q&A session so you can voice your opinion. Because this is Goodfellas Sports TV over here, and this is real Trill Boxing Talk over here. You figure deal me. Goodfellas Sports TV. You can check us on Facebook and Twitter. Also, you can hit me up an email. Y'all know what the business is. One time for the one time boy, CJ Goodfellow. We gone.